The Houston metro area has over 7 million people, and yet only one unfiltered source of news, and that's Grizzy's Hood News. Grizzy Castillo has built a platform of dedicated followers, helping her solve cases, find missing people, and cover stories that the mainstream networks just won't cover. When my nephew went missing, Grizzy was the first and only for the longest time to help us. She's become a pillar in the community, and now she's got a podcast, Hood News Unfiltered with Grizzy, that you can watch Saturday mornings at 9:30 a.m. on Houston CW or anytime at grizzyshoodnews.com. Grizzy works tirelessly to bring us content, sometimes funny, sometimes heartbreaking, and sometimes dangerous, which is why we have to support her sponsors. Go to grizzyshoodnews.com and find out how you can advertise, follow her on all the major social media platforms, or watch her anytime at grizzyshoodnews.com. If it's real news, it's Hood News. That's grizzyshoodnews.com. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There you are. There you are.
I
Okay.
can't see you, but I can hear you.
You can't see me. I can't see you either. Are you
Yeah.
on your phone or on your computer?
On a computer. Oh, wait.
Oh, let me mute this over here. Let me mute this over here. Okay. You're on your computer. If you kind of like move your mouse a little bit, do you see options at the bottom that say like mute, start video?
Yeah, I hit.
Oh, did I lose you? Uh-oh. Miss Myra. Okay, y'all, we had her for a minute. We had her. Y'all stay tuned. I know. It's Zoom, y'all. Miss Myra, you there? Miss Myra. Okay, let's see. You'd think I would be a Zoom like expert after all we went through with COVID. Y'all stay tuned. I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all. We're trying to get Miss Myra in. Let's see. Miss Myra. We had her for a second. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's with her that might be um, better at Zoom. Miss Myra, if you want to get off the computer, maybe try on your phone. It might be easier for you that way. I don't know if you can even hear me though. Facebook, y'all can hear me, right? All right, hang on. Okay, let's see. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna text her. Y'all stay there. Let me see. Hang on one second. I know there's a way we can get her over the phone if this doesn't work. So y'all just stay right there. We're gonna figure this one out. Stay right. Please don't go nowhere. I really want to get this out there for Miss Journey. So bear with me. We're gonna figure it out. If we can't see her, we just hear her. Let's see here. Okay. So we're gonna do this. Okay. All right. I'm gonna see if she can call in. Because she might be just having some PC issues. Y'all stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. We're gonna figure this out. Stay right there, y'all. Please don't go anywhere. While we're waiting for her, let me play this real quick. While we're waiting for her, I didn't want to play this. Y'all stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere. Okay, here we go. No, 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 no. Hang on, not that one. This one. Okay, while we're waiting for her.
Tom, yes, there's a memorial still set up right here on the side of the road where little 7-year-old Journee was killed. Just a few minutes away from where we are, family and friends held a vigil, and you could see how much she was loved by the amount of people that showed up there. Right now, they all just want justice.
I'm trying to do her edges. Snake a tooth. You so pretty.
Journee was killed in a crash on December 11th after her family says she was in a car with her cousins driving back from her brother's birthday party around 8 o'clock. Houston police say a black pickup truck traveling near Cullen Boulevard and Shermier Road ran a stop sign and crashed into the Dodge she was in. A male driver and 2 passengers inside that pickup truck were seen taking off on foot. Journee's parents tell me she was the baby in the family and one of 7 siblings and god siblings. As her parents, siblings, friends, and strangers gathered, it was clear they all just want justice and want whoever's responsible to be found. We spoke with Journee's mother and family members. Take a listen.
My baby was full of life, and I didn't know that it was going to be over so soon.
We also want to bring awareness to what happened to her. As a family, we do want justice for what happened to her. We're seeking for answers because our family does need closure. And in this time, we just want to get our family here together, to have bereavement together, to be supported by our loved ones, and just be together.
And to get that justice, they're asking anyone who has any information to call Houston Police or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. We're live in Southeast Houston. Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News. Tom, yes, there's a memorial.
All right. Okay. I think we may have her. Bear with me, y'all. I know. Just tech issues, but we're gonna do this. Miss Myra.
Hey,
Hey, are you? Oh,
hi.
I hear you.
You
Okay.
hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay, we're just gonna leave it like it is. We're not gonna touch anything. Let me just
Okay.
take a picture of Miss Journee right now. Since we can't see you, that's okay. Oh wait, we can see you. There you are.
I
Hey,
made it.
we finally got you on.
Yes.
You are so
The
pretty.
devil busy.
Oh, ain't he though?
Yes.
You know, I said a prayer. I said a prayer as I always do. I asked the Lord to kind of lead the interview, come in, let me
Okay.
ask the right questions, hopefully soften somebody's heart out there because somebody knows where Pedro's at.
Right. Absolutely.
Somebody knows where
Absolutely.
he's at.
Absolutely.
So just yeah. All right, Mimi. Can I call you Mimi? You know I've been calling you
You
Mimi.
can. You
I probably
can.
should have asked.
You can call me Mimi. You
Okay,
can.
Mimi. Let me
Yes, you
get this
could.
picture of Miss Journee pulled up real quick and show the people here.
Okay.
It's this one here. All right, I think the live is still going on Facebook. Hopefully y'all can see me on Facebook.
Hey, think about.
Can anybody see me on Facebook? Oh, okay. So we got Journee's picture up. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're going. We're live. We're live. All right.
Okay.
And let me get my questions up. Lord Jesus, the devil is not going. Not today.
Not today.
Whew. Okay.
Not
All right.
today.
We're here. We're here.
Okay.
So I've got on the line Miss Myra Minkins, Journee's Mimi. I don't even remember how we met, but I know we met like in person at the thing we did for Alex Mueller. But I don't
Yes.
remember how we actually got in touch with one another.
I believe it was through Facebook. I think it was
Probably.
through Facebook.
I
Yeah.
hate that we're here in this position, you know, but I am grateful to know you. I just hate that we have to meet through this kind of pain.
Right.
'Cause
Right.
nobody deserves either, you know, either AJ or Miss Journee.
Right. Right.
So I'm just going to kind of walk through her life. I mean, it is sadly a very short one, but I just kind of
Yes.
want to, I want my intention for this interview is to put the audience in your shoes as a grandmother, as her Mimi, talk about your baby girl here, just kind of paint a picture of who she was, because I want to soften somebody's heart out there because they took her.
Right.
So let's start at the beginning. When was she born?
She was born May 20th, 2014. And she is the only daughter of her mother. And she was the little sister to her 2 big brothers, Giorgio and Josh. And my 5th grandbaby,
Oh,
2nd grandgirl.
was she born in Houston?
Yeah, she was born in Houston.
Come on, Houston born.
Yes.
What do you remember about that day? What was labor like for her mama?
You know, well, because her mom had a C-section, I wasn't in the room. Her dad was in the room with her mom. So I just know after that she was like, I'm never having another baby. So yeah. But so I don't the labor. I think she had to get the C-section because her blood pressure was up, which they call preeclampsia. So
Ooh.
yeah, so she was delivered by cesarean.
Okay, and what kind of baby was Miss Journey?
Well, spoiled. Um, initially, she didn't like me when she was before she turned 1. She always wanted my mama, so she wanted her great grandma, and so but she was always full of life, busy, 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 busy in the womb, and busy when she came into this world.
Oh, I
She
hear that.
was,
How was she in
yeah.
school?
Oh my God. She was an awesome student, and athlete. In kindergarten, she was reading on a 3rd grade level.
Come on now.
Yes, so all of her teachers loved her, friends, of course, our family. So, but yeah, she was really, really smart, and she knew it, and she knew it,
You
and
gotta
she
love it
knew
when
it.
they know that they're smart.
Yeah, yeah, she was really smart.
And do y'all come from a big family?
Yeah, we're pretty big. We're pretty big. Well, my parents had 3 children, and then I have 2, and then my sister have 2, my brother have 3, and then we all have kids, and then all of our children have children, and it just keeps going and going.
I hear that. What
Yes,
what do you remember most about her?
busy. She was in sports. She loved gymnastics. She loved cheer. She loved to dance.
Hmm.
Um, she loved to talk. She loved to sing. Um, so she was always just full of life.
Hmm.
And she liked boiled shrimp and
Come
corn
on
and potato.
now.
Yes.
Which it sounds to me like even though she only had 7 short years, that she kind of lived every day like it was her last, at least from what you're telling me. She sounds pretty busy for a 7-year-old.
Yeah, she was definitely busy for a 7-year-old. She kept us busy. That's for sure. Especially her mama and daddy. Um, kept them busy, and her godparents kept them busy. Kept them busy. She was blessed with 2 sets of parents. Her godparents did everything except birth her.
I love that. I love that actually. Um, okay, now we're gonna get into the sad stuff. So
Okay.
tell me about that day. How did it? Because I she was at her brother's birthday party, right?
Yes, we all were. We all were.
So how did that play out? Just kind of paint the picture for me. And if you get emotional, if you need to pull back some, I totally get it. We can take a break. I don't want
Okay.
you. I'll sit with you here virtually. You're not alone,
Right, right,
but I know it's not going to be a happy memory.
right, right. Um, so I remember they always wanted to ride with my niece. All the kids wanted to ride with my niece. And so when we left the party, got ready to leave the party, she told her mom, I'm riding with Kiki. And so my other 7-year-old grandson, then 7, Levi, I'm going too. So we were headed to the hotel for her brother's sleepover. And my niece went to get some gas over there in the Cullen area. And they were going back to my place to get my bathing suit so I could go to the sleepover at the hotel. And I was en route to the hotel, and I got a phone call from my niece. Um, she was hysterical, and she was like, somebody just ran a stop sign and hit us, and Journey won't wake up. And I was like, what do you mean she won't wake up? And she just said she won't wake up. She won't wake up. And so I asked her where they were. She told me. So my first thought wasn't to call her mama. My grandson's dad was actually ahead of me, and I called him and I said, I need you to get to Cullen and Schumeyer, wherever that is, close to the Beltway, because Kiki and Journey and Levi have been in a wreck. After speaking with him, I remember calling Levi's mom, and I said, Levi and Kiki and Journey were just an accident. I need y'all to get to Cullen and Schumeyer. And for some reason, it clicked. I was like, I need to call my baby, her mom. And I called her and I said, hey, where are you? She said, get ready to put up at the hotel. And I said, Kiki and Journey were just in an accident. And she said, think about won't wake up. Of course, she lost it. Vaguely, I remember trying to get to the scene. After being on Cullen a trillion times, I had no sense of direction. I called one of my cousins that I called my brother. They called me, asked me where I was. I was like, I don't know. What did you see? I see Jack in the Box. They told me to pull over, and they were coming to get me.
What's
Kiki
going on
told
in
me
your head?
to go ahead.
What's going on in your head as you're dealing with all this? What are you feeling?
She won't wake up. Like, why? Like I just couldn't wrap my head around, like, what you mean she won't wake up? And then I called Kiki back and I asked her, like, where were they taking her? She said to Memorial Hermann in the medical center. And I was like, why did they take her way over there? Pearland is up the street. And then it dawned on me that Memorial Hermann was the trauma center. And I think at that point is when I realized that it was bad. My cousin and my best friend, they drove me to the hospital. By the time we got there, people was coming. I don't even remember how my daughter got there. I think somebody picked her up, her husband. So I don't remember. It was I remember getting there. I remember they having us sitting in this room waiting with saying nothing. They wouldn't let us see Levi, they wouldn't let us see Kiki, they wouldn't let us see Journey. It seemed like forever. Then finally, I don't know after how long, I remember them calling my daughter into the room, her and her husband. And I was talking to her on the phone, and I can hear the people reiterating to her, like, what it went on, the injuries that it appeared that she sustained. And I just remember screaming, they killed my grandbaby, they killed my grandbaby, they killed my grandbaby. Everybody was there, the family, friends, people I vaguely remember seeing, but I know that they were there. After a few hours, after they cleaned her up, they allowed us to go and see her. We were playing the waiting game, is what they say, the waiting game when life support is put in place. I believe my baby was in shock and worried about me because I was all over the place. I just couldn't stop screaming and crying and screaming and crying. So we were allowed to see, everyone was allowed to see her. They tried to limit the visitors, but that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. So we did the waiting game, the 72 hours. They talked about her injuries. It being equivalent to her neck being broken. Severed is the word that they used. And it just kept ringing in my mind, like, severed. I know that what that means. And I'm like, how, why, what? And where are the people that ran the stop sign? Is what, everybody was angry. Everybody was looking for the people in the car, not even knowing who they were, at the moment. We were told they fled the scene. The waiting game, 72 hours, because they said she had a really strong heartbeat when they got to her. So they had to give a fighting chance. That seemed like it lasted forever. Seemed like it lasted forever. So day 2, I guess after I went home and got a little sleep, we got back. I think it was a Sunday. No, it was a Monday. And they talked about removing her from life support to see if she was going to breathe on her own because her heart was still strong. I just remember praying, like, just give us a little ounce of hope, because that means that we would get 72 more hours. Her mom and dad stayed there with her the whole time. The hospital was really nice. They gave them a room on the floor with her where they can sleep, going there with her, rest, going there with her, to be close to her while we played the waiting game. We prayed and prayed and prayed. Well, I say they prayed because I was fighting with God. It was a battle, I had nothing to give them. In reality, I knew she wasn't going to come home because I could feel it. So my baby said that she didn't want to be in the room when they did the test to see if we would get an additional 72 hours. I remember then praying, like, just let her flinch, blink, jump, something. But in reality, I knew, because she was so peaceful. And so when they removed her from the life support, her heart stayed strong until she went to sleep. It was one of the worst days, but I found comfort knowing that she wouldn't suffer because she was so busy, so full of life. Like, if she had lived, like, what quality of life would she have because of her spinal injuries? So the people at the hospital were really nice. They recorded her heartbeat, for us to keep. Her mom, after they did the official, she's no longer here. She gave her last bath, her and the godmother. I think they washed her hair. And I called some of the family and I said, I just want y'all to meet us at the house because we didn't want to tell them over the phone, because my mom was there. Kiki was there. Levi was still in the hospital. And I wanted the whole family to be together so we can just deliver the blow at one time. And so we did. We left the hospital. We all went to my apartment. It looked like it was hundreds of people in the little apartment. And I think they all knew. They were just waiting to hear the official. And we had to tell them that, God called her home. Her injuries were too severe, and she didn't make it. But even in that, I know a few minutes ago you said that they took her. But I want them cowards to know they didn't take her. God came and got her. It took me a minute to, like, even get to that point where it's like they didn't take her. She didn't belong to them. She belonged to God. And that's what God gave me to give to her mom and her brothers and her dad and my entire family, because I just couldn't wrap my brain around, like, how do I be strong for these people when I have nothing? But God strengthened me to be able to see it from a different perspective.
I'm so grateful you said that. I'm really grateful you said that. Because with AJ, I firmly believe they didn't take my nephew either. They don't have that power.
Right. That's
Thank
right.
thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
You doing okay? I know this
I'm
a
doing
lot.
okay.
I know this a lot. So back at the scene, so Miss Journey's transitioned over.
Hmm.
So what do we know at this point about what happened?
Um, at this point, we know that some coward ran a stop sign. His vehicle was immobile. So, the great thing about that was that um, his airbag deployed, and so DNA was on the airbag from blood,
Hmm.
whoever the driver of the vehicle was. Um, we later found out that they said that someone stole their vehicle. They called it in like 2 hours later saying someone stole their vehicle. Um, my sister-in-law and I were in touch with the investigators because, of course, my baby I knew that she wouldn't be able to keep talking about this and talking about this and talking about this, and keep it together. So, uh, they talked about it would be about 6 months for the DNA to come back.
Hmm.
They brought him in, the owner of the vehicle, him and the spouse, I assume. They just said a female.
It's a truck we're talking about?
Yes,
And they were in a car. Was Journey in a car?
yes, they were in a Dodge Dart, and I think he was in a Chevy pickup or Dodge, or I know it's black. And so they said it would be about 6 months before the DNA come back. Um, Almost 6 months to the date, I got a call from Investigator Lewis, and what he said was that he has some information for me, but give him a few more days. He promised he would get right back to me, but he wanted to make sure that he give me the correct information. I thought it was a BS, to be exact. I just really thought that the things that I said to him, it was, I just don't think that they did enough. They knew it was him. We had to wait. He called me, told me the DNA matched Pedro Vargas Garcia, um, and that they were going to reach out to him, call him, uh,
Call him.
call him, to come back in for questioning. And what I said was, if you told me that it would take 6 months for the DNA to come back, and I know I've done something, I'm not coming back for a second interview. I'm not going to do that. I'll probably do just what he did, run. They claimed they contacted his attorney to bring him in. Um,
He already had an attorney.
he already had an attorney. He already had an attorney. Um, but even before that, we walked that street and we put up Crime Stopper posters. My family showed up. We walked.
So
Telling
he had 6 months to come
them
clean, tell the truth, do the right thing.
it didn't happen
So we're waiting 6 months. The only reason we wait in 6 months is because of DNA. But
because of the
cops didn't think anything to go and talk to him then. Like we knew this is his truck, right?
right. So they talked to him. They, like I said, they brought him in
So
to
they'd already talked to him. Okay.
they, and they told him, the airbag was deployed. There's blood on the airbag. Um, Blood don't get on airbags unless you're the driver of the vehicle. So he knew he had 6 months. He knew. I believe he had 6 months to plan to get away. to get away.
Hmm.
And they allow me to do just that.
It's so infuriating, but just for the audience that's not in it, because it's so different when you're in this, living it, than it is to just hear it.
Yes.
So when you're waiting this 6 months, what's going on in your head?
You want to really know what's going on in my
Yeah,
head?
absolutely, Mama.
I could find it myself, get justice myself, let him see and feel how we're feeling. On one end, I was like, I know that God don't sleep. Justice gonna be served. We're not gonna do hood justice. We're gonna just wait it out. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out. And we waited and waited. Nothing. If I was in that type of life, I just say that I believe that right now my justice will be served, not through the judicial system.
I get that. I get that on a visceral level. Because I've been there. I've been there. My sister's been there. I think probably everyone in our family's been there with AJ because we know who's involved. Um,
Yes,
I mean, people talk, but
right,
do we want to be as evil as the people that took his life? That's where we're at. We
right,
go now at this point, I'm past that, but in the beginning, it was very, very different, very different Uncle Paul. Um,
right, right, right.
because
Um,
I don't know that I can speak for you, but tell me if this makes sense or if you can resonate. But in the beginning, we expected that the authorities were going to do their job. Like
do their job,
they're going to bring him in, they're going to arrest him, he's going to go to jail.
right? No.
That's
One
not
of
how
the
it works.
one of the saddest things is that, and I hope that all of the authorities are watching, listening, congressmen and women, the police, the sheriff, the constables, whatever their title is. They only charged him with failure to render aid, causing a death, which for me is equivalent to hitting a dog and running. Because when you look at that, I think it's like a class, whatever the lowest class felony is, 2 to 10 years, possibly probation is what he was charged with. Knowing that he was the one that was driving the vehicle. So they dropped the ball in so many different ways. When Officer Lewis, Investigator Lewis, whatever his title is, when I asked him what was the next steps, this is what he told me. He said there's one of three things that can happen. They could allow him to ride around, drive around, run his plates, the plates to the vehicle that was totaled, didn't make sense. And know that he had a warrant, stop him, arrest him on a warrant. I told him that wasn't gonna work. That's stupid. That shouldn't even be part of the three. The second option was that they could do what they do, the jump out boys, stake his street out, stake his house out, wait to see him, and then apprehend him that way. I told him I'm out for that. I'm out for that. The third option was for them to go to his place, knock on the door, and risk him not being there, and them telling him that they've been there, and he flee. Well, he flee anyway. Because they did neither. The three choices, they did neither. Neither.
And this is after what, 7 months by this point?
This was after 7 months.
So again, I just want the audience to know he has 7 months to do the right thing because this is a failure to stop and render aid charge. This is not a murder charge.
Right.
Which is even more infuriating. But this is not like he's being charged with capital murder, which he probably should be. This is just
right.
he didn't stop and help because he caused an accident. That's
Right.
forgive my language. I cuss and pray at the same time, but that's a bullshit charge.
Me too. I can pray. Peter is my from the Bible.
God's done heard it all, but that's a bullshit charge. Uh,
Yes, it
sorry, not
is.
sorry, but he's not even like I could understand. I mean, I can't understand because I wouldn't do it. I don't have the capacity to run from something like this because I know what kind of pain the families would go through. But it's if I was charged with murder, maybe I would be a coward. But this is failure to render aid.
Right.
He can't even
Right.
face that.
Right.
That's
Right.
I don't know who raised him, but I
I don't know.
question what they taught him. I'm
Right.
sorry, not sorry. I
Right.
really question what they taught him because
Mhm.
how sorry, I'm gonna get on my little soapbox over here because how do you sleep at
It's
night?
okay.
Because it's not just him. It's not just him. It's
Right.
people that know where he's at.
Yes.
His
His wife,
friends, his
his
family, his
mama.
wife. They know,
They know.
and they
They
know
know.
that a whole family is out here grieving.
Mhm.
And yet every night they go to sleep and they just go about their business like life just goes on for them. Meanwhile, y'all are stuck.
Yes.
Because it's been, I mean, don't let me speak for you. Please tell me if I'm not right. But like my family, as much as we're trying to move on, we're still kind of stuck in this moment because there's no closure.
Right. Right.
So I wonder if y'all are feeling the same kind of way.
We're feeling the exact same way. Even my grandson that was in the car with Journey, he's had moments where he wanted to be with her. He's like, why I didn't go? So we are dealing with the loss of her, the emotional from his side,
You
the
got a little
emotional.
muffled, Mama.
Huh?
You got a little muffled. I don't know if
We're dealing with the emotional from Levi saying why he didn't go to. Um, my niece that was driving, you know, and the entire family, her parents, her siblings, we're just angry.
is anyone dealing with any PTSD?
Yes, yes,
Because I can
yes,
only imagine. I can only imagine.
yes.
And
Levi's 9.
was it
Levi's 9.
Levi's birthday? Whose birthday was it?
Levi, it was Giorgio's birthday, her brother.
And I imagine he's
Levi
feeling some kind of
is her
way every time the
cousin
birthday
that
comes
was,
around.
yeah, Levi's her cousin that was in the car riding with them. So they're 5 months apart. He was diagnosed with PTSD. I've been taking medication. Um,
How does his PTSD show up? Like for me, being at home at night, I think someone's going to break in, so I've got to check doors and locks, and sometimes I had to have weapons. Like it can manifest different ways. How does his show up?
well, his shows up in all types of ways. He'll just sometimes just be sitting and staring, and then he'll just cry, and we'll ask him why, and he'll say something like, "I miss Journey. I hate Pedro." I mean, he's 7, 8, 9 years old. It's like you have to keep reliving this and knowing that this coward is still not locked up. Um, and just wondering like why I didn't go. Why did I want to die too? Because he feel like if he died too, then he will be with her. So we have to tell him like, but if you died, then you're gonna leave us like she did.
How does it feel as a grandmother hearing that from him?
Uh, uh, I don't even want to think about it because I think about that night where it could have actually been two of my grandbabies and my niece. I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine. Um, so we're not even allowed to say Pedro's name around Levi
I don't blame
because
him.
he becomes angry.
I don't blame him at all. And for those that are watching or listening, Pedro Vargas is the coward that ran a stop sign, hit a car, killed Journey, and as far as we know, he fled the country. I mean, as far as we know, right? Am I speaking?
Right. Yeah, because we've gotten a lot of messages through Messenger, I guess, from people that have seen his picture on social media, the news, that knows him, that knows his family, that has told us that he's in Mexico, in Zacatecas or something. I don't know what I can't even
It's
say the
hard to say
word.
some of them names for me too. I get it.
Right. Some they want to be anonymous. They say they're going to call Crime Stoppers to give the information. I'm sure that never happened. It's been 2 years, 3 months, and what's today? The 21st,
20th.
the 20th,
Yep.
and 3 days, 7 days. 2 years, 3 months, and 7 days.
And where does the case stand now?
They don't care. They don't care.
This is HPD.
HPD. Well, when I talked to Investigator Lewis a few months ago, what he keeps saying is that once he turns it over to Harris County, then of course it's off his desk. He's done, like he's done his part. And I just say, you didn't do your part. You didn't do anything.
What is his part?
I mean, the DNA is the part that was done. Like, because y'all did absolutely nothing.
And if he's waiting to turn it over, what's he waiting for?
Well, they turned it over because remember,
they did turn it.
Yeah, that's when Shelly Childress from 13 reached back out to them. When they did another interview with Journee's parents, and she reached out to them, and they gave us some cockamamie story about that's when they released his name and picture, when Shelly reached back out to them after the DNA came back. Because what she told them was that when they get new information, she would break the story again. And so when the DNA came back, I called her. She set up an interview again, and she broke the news again. Of course, HPD did nothing. They made excuses. As usual, they made excuses. But Harris County hasn't done anything. They haven't reached out. They haven't done anything.
So because we think he's in Mexico, are there any international Mexican police or anything else involved outside of Harris County that we know of?
No. No. Not at all. Because I do remember what he did say was because of the type of charge, not in his words, but for me, I guess it's just not that important. That's not his words.
Okay, I can understand that.
Version.
Not that I agree with it, but I can understand that, failure to stop and render aid, because that's all they charged him with, is not something you would extradite someone for, because it's not a murder charge. So they really did drop the ball from the start.
From the beginning, they did.
If Chief Finner were standing here right in front of you, what would you tell him?
If who?
Chief Finner, Police Chief Finner from Houston Police.
Do your job. Get your people to do their job. Y'all want us to vote? The sheriff, the constables, y'all want us to vote? Vote for what? Because y'all are doing nothing. Vote for what? For a title? If you want a title, I could come up with a few, but
Sorry,
you want a title.
But I get it.
Like, do your job. Because I remember saying this, Uncle Paul, to Investigator Lewis over and over and over and over. And I would say, if Journee was Sarah, you know where I'm going with this, and Pedro was Ray or John, they would be locked up. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I wouldn't wait for a DNA. Like, they would be locked up. But we know how they treat our Black and brown children. We know. And I hope y'all listening. We know.
For the record, AJ, my nephew, where is it? AJ. We have his DNA. We had to get that privately tested. No, I'll just be honest with you. We got another police department to test it because HPD won't do it. So we know my nephew was there. We know his ankle monitor puts him there. The DNA puts him there. The witness puts him there. The cadaver dogs put him there. We know he was there, but HPD, for whatever reason, we can't do anything with the DNA because legally there's nothing we can do because we didn't get it. We're not police. But only HPD can go get it, and they won't do it. So I get your anger with them.
Yes.
If there's anyone that gets it, I get it. And I don't like being mad at police, but I mean, they haven't really earned respect for me, at least HPD.
No.
I can't speak for all police, but
HPD, right. Harris County, the sheriff's office, all of them. Because when they passed the ball to when HPD passed the ball to Harris County, they did nothing with it.
So Houston has a new mayor, Mayor John Whitmire. What would you tell him? Same thing?
Same thing. Same thing. We voted for you. For what? Like, do something. You know, we know the streets are raggedy. So what? You know, fix them. I'm not concerned about the streets being raggedy, of course.
Yeah, I get you.
But do something. Like, these charges need to be upgraded because failure to render aid causing a death is absurd. It is a slap in the face. And what y'all are telling us is that her life didn't matter. Her life didn't matter to them, but her life matters to us.
Absolutely.
We might as well just have no officials because they don't do any officiating. They don't do anything.
You can say that. You know, I was on a city council meeting one day because I've been on a few, waiting to speak to Turner because this is the old mayor. They spent, I kid you not, and I'm an animal lover. My dog has been pestering me this whole interview. I'm an animal lover, but they spent 3 hours talking about Houston's animals, how we need to help the animals. Meanwhile, you got citizens that are out here being murdered and just nobody gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit. They don't care.
But 3 hours on animals.
Yes. But the shoe was on the other foot. It would be different because I remember when a Mexican guy killed a police officer and they drove to the border.
Oh, yeah.
To get him.
Oh, yeah. If it's one of their own.
And I told Investigator Lewis, the same energy that y'all had when they killed one of y'all need to have the same energy because she might not matter to you all, but she mattered to us. She mattered to us.
How's her mama holding up these days?
She is staying as busy as possible. When she's doing nothing, she's don't want to get out the bed. She's crying, you know, that type of thing. And I always tell her, I'm gonna give you some of my happy pills because I need you to, you know, perk it up. But she's been stronger than what I gave her credit for. But that's what I prayed for him to give us some strength because it's a lot. It's a lot. Her brother writes music, so he has a song, a few songs. One of the first ones that he wrote was I know that it's in our 2 times is no justice, no reward. And he addresses Pedro, him and my son. So that's his way of getting it out. Say it again.
I said, I wish I would have known that. I would have asked you for him so we could have played him. But I'll ask you for him after the interview, and maybe I can put him on TikTok or something. Okay. I would love to hear him.
Yeah. So that's how he grieves. Through his music. Through his music. Yeah. Through his music. So.
And when you talk to Mama, let her know. I've said this to every grieving mother I've ever met. But when I'm going through something and when I'm feeling some kind of way, whether it's, you know, depressed or grieving or trauma or whatever, And there are days when I think about, ending it because it's just painful. I think of
Mm-hmm.
grieving moms. And if a grieving mama can go on after losing a piece of themselves, and so can I. So just let her
Right.
know she's one of my heroes. I hate that she's a
I'm
grieving
sure
mother.
she's watching.
I hope so, mama.
I'm sure she's watching.
I pray for y'all all the time.
I appreciate that. I do.
If there's anything, I mean, I don't have much, but
Right.
whatever I got, I'll help you with. God gave me a platform, so that's what I'm using.
Yes. Yes. This means a lot. We just want to say to Pedro, his mama, his wife, his cousins, his uncles, aunts, friends, whoever you know where he is, make him turn himself in or turn him in. Because you harboring a fugitive, a killer. And I used to pray that he felt the pain that we're feeling, but because he's such a coward, I just believe that even if it did happen to him, he wouldn't feel like we're feeling.
No, I agree
He
with you.
wouldn't feel like we're feeling.
I'll say this much, and I firmly believe this in the depths of my soul. You cannot take somebody's life and get away with it. I don't care if the justice system does us dirty.
Right.
God finds a way. God always finds a way. You cannot take a child
Yes.
of God and not. It's going to come back to you. This is how generational curses are built. Like,
Yes. Yes.
you can't run from God's justice.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I
Now,
believe that.
because I know, at least for me, I know the people that took AJ's life, like they've got children and they've got to watch
Right.
my sister grieve. That's gonna be, I don't wish evil on nobody, but I know how generational curses work.
Right.
If they don't, if they don't get right,
Right.
they're just perpetuating that grief. They're gonna feel that grief someday. It's just how it goes. You can't run.
Right. Right. Well, I beg to differ about
Oh, go ahead.
the praying for them to get it, because I always tell my family, my friends, if it's in the Bible, I can say it, I can wish it. There's a psalm that prays that his mom or his children is fatherless and his mom is without a son, and and for a long time that has been my prayer. I pray that God removes the hate for him that I have in my heart, because that's not who I am. But there's a psalm that was written just for him and people like him, for people like us to pray. And that is my prayer for him, his mama, his daughter, his wife, his family, for his daughter to grow up fatherless, and his mama to be without her son, because that's the word. I didn't say it. That's the word.
Oh, I ain't mad at you. And I will never tell anyone how to grieve. So I forgive me if I came across that way in any kind of way.
No,
But
no, no, no.
I'll never tell anyone. I have my process, but I don't know what it's like to be a grandmother, to watch your daughter lose her daughter. I don't know.
Right.
I can empathize with certain feelings, but I'm not a grandmother. And
Right.
so it's just like my sister. I can see what she's feeling, but I don't know exactly what she's feeling. I've
Right.
never hurt the baby, and Lord knows I
Right.
don't want to, but never hurt the baby. But
Yeah.
I'll say this much: Pedro cannot run from this forever. Yeah, he may not get in the jail cell, which we would love that. But baby, this is where addiction comes from. This is where all these other things. His daughter might very well be without her father, because he's probably drugging or drinking right now. Because I don't understand how you sleep doing this.
Right.
She's probably already without her father, at least in some way. I know that's
Right.
not justice.
Right.
But this is where all this comes from. People, they think they're running from something. You're not running from nothing. You're not running from anything.
He's not sleeping good.
No,
Because the way Journey was in gymnastics, and I'm sure she flipping on his bed and head and knocking stuff over like she do in here. She lets us know that she's here.
Oh, I wasn't
I'm sure
gonna go there,
she
but
is.
I'm glad you went there. I'm glad you went there, because I never know how because I hate the label, but I am a psychic medium. But AJ comes to me all the time, and he's just as annoying on the other side as he was in real life. So You know, he makes fun of me all the time. I'll be in my car listening to my country music. Don't judge. I love country music. And
Mhm.
I'll be singing my little Reba McEntire, and he's just, I can feel him just laughing at me. Oh, you look at your Reba. Come
Yeah.
on now. Like,
Yes.
so I get that. I'm
Yes.
glad you brought that up because if you
Oh yeah.
knew how much AJ
Yeah.
still drags me.
Yes.
But I'm glad Journey shows up in her own little way. I'm glad because at least for me, when AJ shows up, it gives me some kind of peace. Because
Yes.
I'll say this forever: you can't kill somebody. You don't have nobody has the power to take another life.
Nobody has the power. No. No.
How do you
No.
want? Oh, damn! The hour went fast. How do you want Journey to be remembered?
You know what's funny? She always used to say that she wanted to be famous. Um, and she loved TikTok and she loved singing and dancing and flipping it. And so I think about her 7 years of life, how she touched so many people without even knowing it. Um, especially in her passing, because she was all over the news, the little videos and her pictures. I just want them to remember her with that smile that they show and that you show, with her wrapped up like a mummy, because that was her. That was her. She was sassy, but that was her. That picture right there with the bun at the bottom,
Mhm.
she had just did a gymnastics competition. So and the picture with the yellow shirt was her last school picture.
Mm.
The picture next to the coward. So I want them to remember her, for being the bubbly 7-year-old that she is. Um, and I just think about the number 7, completion. She was 7. Her work here was done.
Mm.
So that's what I
Seven
want
is
them
a
to
holy
remember.
number. Seven's a holy number.
It's all the numbers, completion. So she did just what God had her to do, wanted her to do in 7 years. And no, we didn't want her to go, but I definitely wouldn't want her to be here in a wheelchair and not having the quality of life that she deserved and that she would want to have.
I hear that. Is there anything we can do to spread more awareness or help with the journey for the justice journey for I can't talk. The journey for justice for Journey. There we go.
That's just for Journey. Um, just keep pushing stuff like this. I mean, there's your platform is large. I've sent your link to all of my family, and they reposted, and
I see
so
y'all
I'm
in the
sure
chat.
they're watching. They're watching in Mexico.
I hope so. I hope Mexico is watching.
Mexico's watching. Hopefully, Smokey Phillips, that won the, constable, whatever. Hope he's watching. I've tagged him and stuff. They never respond, but I want them to do something.
Hmm.
Do something. I want them to do something
Hmm.
besides collect a check. Do something.
I hear that. I wish
Do
I wish
something.
I could bill for all the investigative work that I've done, and I'm sure you've done some too. Um,
Yes.
whew,
Yes.
yeah, you know how much money we'd be owed, um,
Right. Right.
or how many jobs
But
I've lost trying to get justice for AJ. If y'all only.
right. Right. Right.
Before we close, is there anything you feel like we missed, or anything else you want to put out there before we wrap up here?
Um, I can't think of anything. She loved life. She loved family. She loved people. She loved. She just loved that. She would just love.
Mm.
Um, and so although she's not here in the physical, we still feel the love. We have all the videos, all the pictures, all the text messages, um, things that people don't get to get when their family members die at 60 and 70. She piled it all on us at 7.
Yeah, I think I still got her cell
Yeah.
number in my phone.
And we still have a heartbeat because they recorded it for us, so we can stay, close to her like that. But Pedro, somebody coming for you.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the police, or God, or somebody else that's gonna be out. I don't know, but whoever get there first, I'm all for it. Um, I am. I'm all for it.
I hear you.
Any way they get him, I'll be satisfied.
I hear that. All right, Miss Mimi. Well, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for sharing Journey's story with us. It's not something I take lightly. I really do. It's a privilege to hold space for someone's story. So I'm grateful that you took an hour to talk
Yes.
about Journey. And I pray this reaches somebody that knows where Pedro's at. Just give us some information.
Yeah.
Now, the audio version of this will be available in a couple of weeks to download, but this live is already up, so you can keep sharing it as much as you want to share it. So it's up.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I love you. Stay safe.
We love you. Thank you.
You're very welcome
Praying
to
for
those.
you from over here.
Thank you. Well, I'm in Hollywood. You never know who I might run into talking about Journey. So just
Hey.
FYI,
Yeah.
Journey stories in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Tell them
for
to
those that
some
are
of that
watching,
Hollywood money for justice.
amen. Thank
Hollywood
y'all for
money
watching. Thank y'all
for
for
justice.
listening. I love y'all. Justice for Journey.
Thank you.
Bye, Mama.
Bye bye.
In Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.